Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I please ask everyone to settle down? Call our host for the book launch, Mr. Bharat Avlani, from the batch of 84, who has crossed about 73 countries, and we know him as a storyteller and a memory collector. Mr. Bharat Avlani.
Staying at the Royal Yacht Club, and I'm sure Amar Singh, where are you? I'm sure Amar up here would agree that the Yacht Club is equally proud to host you, sir. I'm actually paraphrasing this incident, but essentially that's what happened. So Lord Willingdon decided to do something about it. So a large part of land was acquired to build a premier club. And that's the most premier club in the country today, and that's the Willingdon Club. And it's the only club that actually gave membership to Indians, the first club in India to give membership to Indians. And later, the Maharaja of Patiala also founded the Cricket Club of India. Many RkC gatherings have also been held here on these very lawns. So some of you who have attended our past events would fondly remember when we felicitated Mother Teresa, Miss Cooper, and many others. So only if the lawns could speak, there are many stories about RkC. The first Baronet Karim Boy, who was the ancestor of our head boy, Tariq Karim Boy, also donated magnanimously to the club. So if you go to the billiard room or the badminton court, there is a plaque that acknowledges the same. So that's our connection with the school as well. Now coming back to the launch of Vignettes of the Rajkumar College, a book written by Sir Mr. Ayazkhan. It is said that when the students are ready, the teacher would appear. In this case, the teacher was the old RkCian association. They set the venue and the date for the launch, which was the 8th of October. And the student in this case was Mr. Ayazkhan, who completed writing the book much ahead. I like to use the word finish line and not deadline because I think he found a lot of joy in writing it. So may I now kindly request Mr. Kiran Patel to launch the book. And I'd like Mr. Yogesh Wadhwana, the president of ORA, Jayendra Singhji, I believe is the senior most all boy that we have with us today, and Lieutenant Colonel Ajit Dudani, who's got secrets of Mr. Ayazkhan that's not in the book. He's his childhood buddy. So can I request the three of you to witness the launch of the book and Mr. Kiran Patel to kindly launch the book. Sir, may I request you to step, sir? Sir, do you mind? No, can you all please rise? And sir, can you take a step forward? Kiran and sir, can you take a step forward? No, let's do these two first. Okay. All right, come, Kiran, do the honors. Come on, that's all you can do. The clapometer is not working.
Should I say namaste or attention? We are all bound by something special, right? And even now, after so many years, when we see each other, it's almost as if it was only yesterday that we parted. The bonding is so strong. So what is it about a school like Rajkumar College that creates these relationships? Certainly the campus has an aura of its own, but more than the campus, it is the humans within the school that we encountered. We were fortunate to encounter in our most formative years. And of course, Sir is a prime example of the type of master whose legacy will outlive him by generations. We all carry the torch that he lit in us, and as I was sitting with him today, there were a number of you who came by to speak to him, and it was evident that a schoolmaster's success is not just in the school, but it flows into the entire community through all of us. And I'm so glad all of you are here to honor Sir this evening, and our presence and our work is our greatest thank you for everything that he has done for us. Thank you for being here.
Kiran Patel is a man of very few words, so we got a minute or two, which I'll probably give it to Mr. Colonel Ajit Dudani to speak about his childhood buddy. Not more than 2 minutes, guys, you start timing. The minute's 2 minutes, you start clapping.
How rude can you be? Anyway. Colonel Ajit Dudani, they call me. I'm 58 batch, 1 year junior to Ayaazkhan. And well, Ayaz knows that I'm suffering from verbal diarrhea, so he's told them 2 minutes. The time starts now. Ayaz and I go a very long way, 1952. And we've kept in touch for all these years. We've been buddies. We have a very strange relationship in that I love him and he hates me. And every time we are together, he keeps on saying, keep quiet when I'm interrupting. Or the other way, don't interrupt while I'm talking. So I tell him, in Ghalib's words, हर एक बात पे कहते हो कि तू क्या है, तुम ही कहो कि ये अंदाज़े गुफ्तगू क्या है. But this goes on, and that's how we are. एक आपको वाक़या सुनाऊं छोटा सा. कल रात मेरी खुदा से मुलाकात हुई, थोड़ी ही सही, लेकिन बात हुई. मैंने खुदा से पूछा, मेरे मौला मुझे बताइए कि अयाज खान बाबी कैसा इंसान है. खुदा मुस्कुराए और बोले, दोस्ती बनाए रखो, बिल्कुल मेरे जैसा. And now of course he is telling them, isko shut up karo. Just last thing I'll tell you, while I was coming here I met a boy, Thakur, kya uska naam hai? Thakur, that bhajiya wala boy. He has a very big shop in Surat. तो उसको मैंने कहा कि उधर अयाज खान के बुक लॉन्च है, तू भी आ जा. While we were talking, a random guy suddenly butted in and said, તમે કોની વાત કરો છો? અયાઝ ખાન RkC ના ડાયરેક્ટર? मैंने कहा हाँ. तो this boy tells him, સાહેબના ખાસ દોસ્તાર છે, મેડમને ને નેહાને પણ ઓળખે છે. So he says, હા સમજી ગયો, એટલે આ ફેમિલી વેમાં છે એમ ને. So I thought, what, he's probably looking at me because I'm looking a little pregnant. And so that's how it is. And well, 2 minutes over? Okay then. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
I think one thing I learned from Mr. Ayazkhan is when to pipe down. There's an African saying that says, until the time that the lion has its own storyteller, the story or the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. But sir, can I request you to tell us your story, the lion and the hunter? Thank you.
They went to sea in a sieve, they did. In a sieve they went to sea. In spite of all their friends could say, on a winter morn, on a stormy day, in a sieve they went to sea. And everyone said, who saw them go, oh, won't they be soon upset, you know? For the sky is dark and the voyage is long, and happen what may, it is extremely wrong to go to sea in a sieve. Their heads are green and their hands are blue, and they went to sea in a sieve. I used to enjoy this absurd poem as a boy and even as a grown-up man, till I thought I saw a man with green head and blue hands. And it struck me that these people are visionaries who dream the impossible, cause their own cause, and succeed in doing what others thought impossible. We have here amongst us a man with green head. Some 4 decades back, he dreamt a dream, and wise friends, experienced men say, "Aapro kaam nahi." Par ye koi no saambade. Now, he has something called the Galaxy Education System. The operative word here is system. Unique in its concept, ever changing to suit the times and challenging needs. His institutions, not one, very many, encompass the meaning of education in its broadest sense and provide the children best means to find and follow their chosen path and live it successfully. Another aspect of TGES not taken into account is employment given to thousands. And what is more, the children of most of the support staff get free education in TGES. Free education to the children of thousands of workers there. On a Sunday evening in the month of October, for Mr. Kiran Patel to absent himself from the practice of his beloved Galaxy Garba Mandal is a huge sacrifice. And I feel guiltily grateful. Thank you. I know what it means to you, Kiran. The annual Galaxy Garba Festival is one of the finest educational tools that teaches the participants to strive hard to achieve perfection and doing it, enjoy it. Mr. Kiran Patel, who sailed the sea in a sieve, is revered, he is worshipped by thousands as the ultimate guru. Kiran is with us today on my request to release the book, as well as to be honored most deservingly as an outstanding RkCian. But I am in a mood to reveal the most well-kept secret over the years for his success in RkC and beyond. Listen carefully. Kiran wisely was never in the section of a standard that I ever taught. What is more, he was never in the house that I was housemaster of. Did I say somebody said lucky fellow? We only met on the hockey field. And yet, here is another example of Kiran doing things unconventionally. When he began to honor teachers with the Galaxy Education System, Lifetime Achievement Awards, guess who was one of the first he thus honored? And thank you again. Kiran has all these years showered me with love and respect I hardly deserved. I hold him in the highest esteem as an educationist and as a person. I am absolutely honored that Sir Jayendra Singhji has taken the trouble to come here at, I am sure, great stress, physical and mental. Sir is the oldest old boy of RkC. You may not be very sort of taken up by the fact that he spent most of his life in corporate world, but we will be overawed to know that he was the opening batsman of St. Stephen's College cricket team. On my request, Sir joined me to help me when our RkC was going through a lean period and helped me to try and stabilize it. At the cost of seeming immodest, I must say Sir and I share one trait, one characteristic. We laugh a lot. And we laugh heartily. And we also share one love. Arun Kumar Singh of Lathi, Sir's younger cousin, my dearest friend. I want to thank Sir, Amar Singh, Vilu, and Yatindra Singh for continuing to give me the love that Arun gave over a lifetime. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Somebody with medals and cap and whatnot. As he said, we have been friends since 1952. But it's a miracle that our friendship has lasted 71 years. And I won't tell you who's because we are totally different persons. Now, who's the chalk and the cheese, you can decide. He is the only person who gets to read firsthand just about anything I write. Whether I'm writing for the book, whether I'm writing for a magazine, or for any personal reason, he gets it. I like that, but what I don't like is he never praises what I write. So the best way to introduce the Colonel Sahab to you is to share with you few shares of a ghazal that I wrote on his 80th birthday. हे एक अजब के कर्नल अजीत दुदानी, आज आप भी सुन ले उनकी कहानी। जवानी में तो थे जनाब बिंदास, बुढ़ापे में भी अकल न आई सियानी। कभी जनाब करने लगते हैं बड़ी लेक्चरबाजी, अपने को खुद समझते हैं बहुत ज्ञानी। मूंछों को ताव देकर दिखावा 30 मार खा, अपनों की याद में पलों में आंखों में आ जाते हैं पानी। He is very emotional, this man, very emotional indeed. अपनों की याद में पलों में आंखों में आ जाते हैं पानी। सच बहुत ना नहीं समझना कर्नल साहब को है बड़ा मुश्किल। कजी अजब की नादानी, कभी बातें रूहानी। To tell you the truth, it's a blessing to have a friend like him. And we're most grateful indeed. He's a wonderful, wonderful man. I term him as having a silken golden heart, which he tries very hard to camouflage. I must first of all express my gratitude to all of you who have spared your Sunday evening to be here today. It, I know, is a very generous gesture of affection for an old teacher. I can't name you all, but I am most grateful because if I start, it will never end. But I would like to be excused if I name 4 beautiful persons here. One is a girl architect from the RkC education system called Mudra Nirmal Masurikar. Mudra. She is here as much for her affection for me, but also to look after her father, who has sprained his back while lifting all those books that he has published for us. Thank you, lovely Mudra. And then there are 3 brilliant RkCians. One is the girl, I always find it a little difficult to name her, Nazafreen, head girl, recently, not too late, too far back, and band master of the band which has won rewards and awards and, what should I say, honor at all India level. Nazafreen, the one who... Then there is another brilliant girl and my wife's niece, Prisha. Prisha Goyal. Where is Prisha? Then there is a girl who last year, it means end of the academic year this year, topped the board exams in RkC, Krisha Puneet Kotak. And there is one other young lady who, wherever I am, runs to me and offers her strong shoulder so that I may put my hand on her shoulder and may not trip, always caring for me. She is all of 9 years old, my granddaughter, Ilyana. Thank you so much. I feel overwhelmed. Thank you, ORA, for making this possible. Jazba-e-ishq salamat hai to inshallah, kacche dhage se bande aayenge sarkar mere. If the passion of love is intact by the grace of God, the faintest of tug by the thinnest of thread will bond us all together. That is the thing. Agar jazba-e-ishq salam hai to inshallah, kacche dhage se chale aayenge sarkar bande hai. I fondly remember the function superbly organized in Ahmedabad for the release of my first book, Pipudi, and I must thank the team members of Ahmedabad who were fantastic indeed. When that book, Pipudi, was released, one question worried me. I asked myself, sir, whether I can call myself an author. And Mark Twain answered that question. He said, if you can write a laundry list very well, you are an author. And then I wondered whether I am a successful author. Then Oscar Wilde settled that question. If people who have not read your book claim that they have, you are a successful author. On the authority of 2 great writers, now that I realize that I am a successful author, I've got the confidence to address this august gathering. But you must not be too concerned. The organizers of this program have been more concerned about your boredom than my freedom in a performance which is supposed to be for me. This much time and not a second more, they say. Chaps who never obeyed me in school expect me to obey them. When Pipudi was released, Maipalwala said, sir will write the history of Rajma College. I was thrilled. But then I soon realized that there were lots of problems where I couldn't really write something and call it the history of Rajma College. Therefore I said, let's change the name and call it Glimpses of the Rajma College. But soon I realized the council elections began, and I realized the book will not be published. However, the memories had got so much clogged into my brain that I had to write it for myself to get the genie out of my mind, as it were. But there was a change now. Now I could write as I liked, because I was writing for myself with no idea of publishing it at all. But Yogesh and Bharat and everybody bullied me, and here we are. Rather than my talking about the book, I've asked 3 of my darlings to read out excerpts to let you judge it and hopefully interest you to read it. The 3 darlings are my daughter Neha, my niece Sana, and my granddaughter Supriya. The first chapter deals with arguments among the British rulers, whether it was in their interest to educate chieftains, or was it like cutting off the branch on which they were comfortably seated.
Good evening, everybody. We'll begin with some excerpts of the book. In section A, the first article is the inception of the Rajkumar College, Rajkot. A debate among the British regarding the desirability of an educational institution exclusively for the sons of Indian chieftains. They're basically debating whether educating the colonized would pose a threat or contribute to the longevity of the British rule in India.
Secretary Mr. Barlow wrote, "The 2 principal objectives which the government ought to have in view in all arrangements are to ensure its political safety and to render the possession of the country as advantageous as possible to the East India Company and the British nation."
Sir William Jones retorted, "Surely, the principal objective of every government is the happiness of the governed."
It is bad policy to give to the chiefs the power which may be used against itself. We shall improve them to such an extent that they will improve us out of the country.
It would be naive to state that the educational initiative for the native chiefs by the British was entirely due to the noblest and totally unselfish reasons. However, it would be unfair to doubt all their acts as wholly self-serving goals and none other.
The fact is that the very first generation of the chiefs who studied in these colleges made significant and admirable difference in the way they governed their states and looked after the interests of their people.
The next excerpt is from the chapter Fantasia, The Quadrangle Comes Alive. We have borrowed Mr. Rogerson's idea of the permanent fixtures in the quadrangle, talking about various moments of significance that they have witnessed over the years. Sana represents the fountain, Supriya the postbox, and I the statue of Mr. Main.
The prize giving of 1973 was one of the most memorable ones. It was the year Satya Sai Baba was the honored chief guest.
I first wondered how a public school could invite a spiritual guru, who had earned controversial fame by producing ash from his sleeves and magically producing a Swiss watch from the air. But of course, the school authorities had to bow down to the wishes of the munificent donor of the Jamshri Digvijay Singhji Memorial Wing.
I too wondered about it, but I quickly changed my mind. When 2 musicians arrived more than a month early, they auditioned a large number of students and chose a group of about 30 and taught them to sing bhajans.
I must agree with the postbox. Those bhajans were the best I have ever heard. Listening to our children sing so melodiously, one could forgive just about anything.
I second that. I was moved not only by the bhajan singing, but also by the almost filial affection with which Sai Baba embraced each prize winner.
Yes, it was indeed a moment to cherish.
We move on to an excerpt from a chapter about one of the most pivotal moments in RkC history, the rainbow in the sky of RkC before and after RkC admitted girls.
In 2003, the fortress finally crumbled with the entry of the fairer community. The Rajkumar College Rajkot became a co-ed school after 130 years of being an exclusively boys' school.
The decision was not entirely without risks. Not that risk is an appropriate word in this context. The college, according to another school of thought, had actually taken a grave risk. For over a century, to educate hundreds of boys in an unnatural atmosphere to grow up in their most vulnerable years without any interaction with girls.
It is important to take a quick look at the consequences or repercussions of the bold decision. The girls, by their performance in almost all education exercises, proved that this was a much delayed decision.
But what about the fear of biological urges and magnetic attractions? In 2009, the inevitable happened. A young couple, tired of meeting for a short period of time in insecure places and under constant fear, decided to rendezvous in a safer place. They were unfortunately caught.
This incident, in a way, is considered the biggest scandal in the history of RkC, chiefly because it was the first of the co-ed years of the college. It would be ridiculous to believe, however, that in over 100 years of RkC, in a boarding school, all who resided there had been saints or in total control of their strong attractions.
This, as well as other aspects of the decision to admit girls in RkC, have been discussed in the article. We'll take a short break while Daddy continues with his speech and be back for some more excerpts.
At this point, I would like to speak about RkC's past president, Darbar Sahib Maipalwala of Jitpur. He was one of the finest human beings I have known. So humble a man of few resources, and yet so generous. As the chairman of the council, he was second to none and better than a few. There was not even an iota of doubt about his total selfless commitment and devotion to the Rajkumar College Rajkot. But I must share with you something I learnt about him just last week. I went to Jitpur to attend his funeral. I am very bad at remembering roads, so though I knew that his house was on the highway, I thought we'll go to the town, find somebody who will direct us there. So I went there and asked a group of people. He said, Maipalwala no ghar batao. They stared at me as if I was talking about somebody who nobody knew. I said, Darbar Sahib, Jitpur, Maipalwala no ghar batao. Nobody knew. 3-4 groups of people, they couldn't answer that, and I was shocked. Till one particular group told us, highway upar pacha jao, Surya Mandir na paase che. Then he called us and said, Tame khoto sawal karo cho. I said, Maipalwala ne koi orkhe nahi. Jitpur ma, Jitpur Darbar Sahib ne koi orkhe nahi. Billy Baba nu pucho. Look at the humility of this man who ruled there, who prefers to be known as Billy Baba. And when you talk to him and spoke to him, within moments you realize that he had what we call tehzeeb, this beautiful courtesy of a royal Rajput family. He was truly extraordinary man, and I absolutely loved him, and I'm so sorry that he passed away so soon. I'm happy to learn that ORA membership is rapidly increasing with responses from all over India and abroad. When we have any kind of alumni bonding, we must not forget Rahul Patel. Rahul Patel and I were not the best of friends. One day when I was sick, he managed to find permission from somebody else on his birthday to take a group of friends for a lark whole day out of RkC against rules. I learnt about it in the evening and went and looked for them, and they were at the Galaxy Cinema, enjoying ice cream and waiting for the 6 o'clock show. I made them throw that ice cream, I made them tear those tickets and march them back to school. So that was my relationship with Rahul there. But Rahul Patel is a pioneer of alumni bonding. As early as 1980, he made the first list of RkCians with details of their school years and their addresses and contact numbers, etc. He has nurtured this single-handed over all these years, and the membership has now gone into 1,000. When we get together, we can't but remember Rahul Patel. बीती हुई कुछ बातें हम याद करें फिर से, खोए ख्वाबों के वो दुनिया हम आबाद करें फिर से.
We'll continue with some excerpts from the book. The next chapter is that of dramatics. This exhaustive account is intended to record the history of dramatics at RkC. RkC has been lucky to always have had some staff members or the other who were passionate about dramatics, and so formally or informally, dramatics has always been an integral part of the RkC experience.
The choice of skits performed by the first batch of students is quite revealing. William Tell, Hamlet. Gujarati plays emphasized royal valor. Talwar, Rana Pratap, Love and Kush, and Ram's embassy to Ravan. These were directed by the stalwarts of Gujarati literature, Nana Lal Kavi and B.K. Thakur, both on RkC staff.
Along with documenting the variety of plays performed at RkC, this article also includes mentions of old boys whose involvement in theatre continued even after school.
Nawab Jayendra of Balasinor was a creative genius. He not only produced and directed plays, but also wrote the scripts and songs for his plays, as well as put together a state band that played music composed by him.
That was not all. He made sketches of the backdrops and stage settings and directed and supervised their construction. He even managed an engineering marvel by mechanically hauling a car onto the stage and contrived to make a stream of water flow in the middle of the stage. From Love and Kush to The Sound of Music, when it comes to dramatics, RkCians have seen it all.
One aspect of schooling that has seen a rather dramatic transition, especially over the last decade, is the attitude of students and parents towards the idea of punishment. We now bring before you an excerpt from the chapter Crime and Punishment. Let's start with a recollection and a question raised by a UK-based old boy more than 30 years after he passed out of school.
I was in RkC from 1974 to 1984. I must tell you that slapping, kicking, and all sorts of corporal punishments were rampant and doled out not only by professors but also by prefects. It was obvious even at that young age that some of the beatings that some professors doled out were solely due to their personal frustrations and personal issues.
He further states, the majority of the beatings that I witnessed were triggered by some silly act or comment, and the professor just went nuts on the poor kid. The punishment never fitted the crime. Yet, there were many professors who never laid a hand on their students, but were equally effective in disciplining them.
There are, of course, old boys who thought differently.
Believe it or not, a small group of boys started a competition for themselves. The competitors had to annoy a select group of 4 staff members so much that each was compelled to slap the boy. The winner was the one first to receive a slap from all 4, but also one who correctly described the velocity and the impact of the slap best.
Another old boy recalls that sometimes not getting caught or punished somehow left the mischief feeling unfinished.
The chapter tries to understand the mischief maker's psyche while committing the crime, leading to the recounting of some rather hilarious pranks along the way. The next is the chapter Insaniyat, which is about the humanitarian deeds done by many of the old boys.
The enlightened ruler, the Thakur Sahib Bhagat Singhji of Gondal, was returning home one hot afternoon in his horse carriage. He noticed a poor, sweating woodcutter resting under a sparsely wooded tree. When the man rose, he struggled to lift and sling the heavy sack of wood onto his head from the ground.
The very next day, Bhagwat Singhji summoned the state engineers and ordered them to erect specially designed milestones on Gondal state roads. They were made of stone or concrete in the shape of tables so that a weary traveller could take shelter from the blazing sun under the table and rest his load easily on the tabletop to be lifted with ease.
The main focus of this chapter in Insaniyat is not just on acts of charity in the financial terms, but about the demonstration of compassion, empathy, lending a ear, or just helping someone smile. One would like to believe that RkC had a role to play, however small, on this journey of philanthropy. Not only did many staff members exemplify these qualities, but over the years helped students to imbibe them by involving them in a variety of activities, from donating blood to helping the elderly carry their luggage at the railway station.
It would be difficult to quantify the number of good deeds that RkCians have done over the decades because most of them also exhibit that other important quality of insaniyat, that of humility.
When one of the old boys was asked to give a few details of his philanthropy, the reply was, "I have never recorded. All we do, we simply do. Never thinking there will be an accounting year on earth."
We'll conclude by one couplet by my grandfather, Ruswa Mazlumi. उसने तो मुस्तख़ा को इंसान बना दिया, उसने तो मुस्तख़ा को इंसान बना दिया, अब आदमी को चाहिए इंसान बना रहे. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The question is, does Vignettes qualify as a book of history? Leading historians like Ramila Thapar, Irfan Habib would say, certainly not. But I would beg to differ with these renowned historians. Herodotus declares history is a kind of recollection of the past. Well, Vignettes is doing just that. More importantly, it has not been written to please anybody, or under orders of any powerful person, or with any prejudice. Incorrigible as I am, I can't help but feel that this is the kind of history that school students would love to study. Tell me, which student wouldn't want to study history that tells him about a principal who finds a boy munching sugarcane and asks him, "Where did you get the money from?" And the boy says, "Sir, as I was passing your office in the corridor, I found a coin." And the principal says, "Go and look for another. I also like sugarcane." It's true, all right? Which boy wouldn't want to read about and learn about the chairman of the council who, against the will of the British governor, gives shelter to over 100 Polish refugee children and says, "You may have lost your father. I am your father. I am your Babu." Which school student wouldn't be thrilled to read about prefects who at the end of their schooling call a day boy, a class junior to them, give him their clothes, say, "Get this washed and starched for our final function tomorrow." And this boy decides for once not to listen and dumps them all in the fountain. Which boy wouldn't want to read about Prabhashankar Patni, who began, believe it or not, as a compounder in the Rajkumar College. And at the end of his life, he was one of the delegates of India to the Round Table Conference in England. Which public school boy would not want to read about a principal group captain Sprossen, a trained fighter pilot whose plane was shot by the Germans in France? He fell, he was looked after by the French civilians, he acted dumb, he lived incognito till he was saved by the British Army, and he came back as RkC principal. And which boy wouldn't want to read about a sweeper who cleaned commodes, but read Gita regularly and wrote bhajans which are sung all over Gujarat today. Sat sabna saman dejo, bhave bhakti tamari, man mota ne marwa dejo, jnaan ni katari, Prabhuji etli araj hamari. Look at the thing, he's not asking for fame or money, he's asking for honesty. And he is saying, give me means to kill my ego. And look at the alliteration, sa, ba, ba, ma, ma, ma. Sat sabna saman dejo, bhave bhakti tamari, man mota ne marwa dejo, jnaan ni katari, Prabhuji etli araj amari. I think it is time for me to pipe down before the Education Ministry calls me to write the next history course of India. I must express my gratitude, heartfelt gratitude, to ORA officials, Yogesh Wadhwana, Vinesh Patel, Darshak, especially Field Marshal Bharat Avlani, and indeed so many old boys who have contributed to making this function such a success, and very many for their never-ending kindnesses. I must convey my love to my son, Nirmal Masurekar, who took up the challenge of printing this book within the given time with such thoroughness, cover design, photographs, and all unimaginable complexities, not to mention at the sacrifice of his other commitments. Also to RkC staff who helped me, thank you. Whenever I asked any question, RkC staff helped me out. In my retirement, the greatest gift that I have been receiving all these years is continuous flow of RkCians who visit me and keep my spirits up and cheer me up. I have no words to express my gratitude to dear parent, Mrs. Perin Boga, for her speedy and thorough editing, and much more for continuing to bless us, our lives, with Cooperism. My sisters, my brothers, my in-laws and their families I must thank, who have ignored my indiscretions, my absurdities, have never expected any of me, and thoroughly spoilt me by infinite love. I often wonder as to what percentage of people live a life of complete happiness for decades together, as I have been blessed with. The name of those blessings are Kirtida and Neha. It is said Alexander, with all his conquests, couldn't take anything with him. Sikandar khali hath gyo. Tamaro prem sathe lai jas. Khali hath gyo hai Sikandar ni baat chhe. Thank you for being so patient. Thank you.
I'm going to take a couple of minutes out of the well-structured time that everybody has here, and basically just to say thank you on behalf of all of us. There's this quote which says that family isn't always blood. It is the people in your life who want you in theirs and accept you for who you are. I think my father has been doubly lucky, because this is true for him not just in terms of our blood family, everybody who's related to us, but more so his RkC family, who is always there. I feel a little jealous because I think he sometimes shows that he has more rights or more हक जताने की जो बात होती है with everybody else than me, because he has so many sons and now daughters as well. But I think we have all been blessed because of that, and I really want to say thank you all so much for being here on behalf of my parents, on behalf of our family, and a special thanks to our family also for being here today. We are very touched. Thank you once again.
May I now request Kiran to present a bouquet of our love and our gratitude and our appreciation to Mr. Ayazkhan for making sure that the history is properly recorded.
This is a pregnant way of saying you spoke too much.
On behalf of all of you.
Don't. Three cheers for Mr. Ayazkhan.
So I think I've been given the unenviable task of following up after Mr. Ayazkhan's book launch and following Bharat Sahib's talk. So I hope I can engage you to some extent. I would start with a quote. Mitravan sadhayati arthana asadhyati vaiyat, which means that the most impossible task is possible with the help of friends. And that is exactly what we are trying to achieve through Aura here. Right? We are all part of an alumni, and we are all getting together. Yogesh bhai and Rahul and everybody has been very diligent in putting in a lot of effort in getting us all together from different parts of India and abroad. Today we are a community connected across generations. I see people who were in the same batch as probably my mama and also the same batch as me. At the same time, we see Nazafreen, who is a very recent pass out. This whole community has come together, and the thought of the next part, which is the launch of the Aura Business Network, is to take this camaraderie, take this network forward. The idea is to allow a platform, to create a platform that will help this community grow professionally and personally through skill enhancement and networking and collaboration. Right? The idea originated thanks to a lot of you folks reaching out to Yogesh bhai and Amit bhai and requesting for an option where they could collaborate with other Aura members. And that's the genesis of Aura BN network that we are launching today. What has happened so far? We have had a lot of work put in by a lot of people who I will be inviting on stage later. Those people have put in a lot of effort in actually brainstorming the charter of the business network, the structure of it, how you guys can collaborate, how can it be structured, how can it be beneficial to all. With that effort, there is also effort that has gone into thinking how can the current students of RkC also benefit, how can we upskill them, how can we ensure that they receive the support. At the same time, the current old boys and old girls of RkC also receive upskilling, mentoring in whatever field that they would like, and there is enough opportunities and adequate opportunities for them. What are the next steps that we plan to take? So after today's launch, I hope you guys can hear me. Yeah. Sorry. So after today's launch, you guys can go in, and there's the set by sitting there at a desk, which has the Aura BN QR code, which you can scan and sign up. The first meeting of the Aura BN will happen on the 4th of November. So we have the schedule planned. We are going to invite prestigious people to talk and give upskilling sessions for the members who sign up. So you will have upskilling sessions already planned in. I would request you all, whoever are interested in, when we were collecting the RSVPs, we have received around 70 of you as interested in the Aura Business Network. I would request you to please go to the desk after this event and sign up for the business network. The ones who are signing up today have a special surprise in store for them. I'll just say that much, and I'm not going to reveal more than that. At this point, I would like to call upon Mr. Kailas Asher to talk about the mission, vision, and code of ethics for the business network that we are launching today. Kailash bhai, if I can request you to come on stage, please.
Good evening, friends. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Great. Can I have a loud applause, please, for Chandramouli and also the ORA members. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you. Friends, in these VUCA times that we are living in, right? The disruptive times that we are living in. Okay. What is the best way to grow? I think it is growing relationships. And it is well known that if you want to increase your net worth, you need to network, right? And for any individual, any team, any organization, if it has to thrive, it has to be built on a strong foundation. And strong fundamentals, they will define the strength of that organization. And in line with that, I would like to just read out to you. You can see in front of you the vision of this ORA-BN platform, which ORA has diligently created. The vision is to create a worldwide network to empower and enable all RkCians to achieve their professional and personal goals. Friends, this is a desired future state that we would want, that in the world there be a network where all RkCians can use that platform and grow personally and professionally. The mission, that is, what is our purpose? That is purpose of ORA-BN going to be. And that is to provide a supportive and inclusive ecosystem. It's an ecosystem, friends, okay? Where, you're moving from an ecosystem to an ecosystem, okay? So you need to understand, this is for all RkCians to network, learn and grow through partnering. And this will enable them to develop an eternal, meaningful relationship with each other. We come to values. Yes, friends, these are beliefs which guide us in our life, in our profession, all right? Give without expectation. So we all know it's in giving that we will be given, all right? And second is relationship building. Friends, that's the all importance. Okay, today, aapne kehna orkhani moti khan che, all right? So I think it is very rightly so that how we build relationship, where reliability and respect and trust for each other. Then we have responsibility. That is something that comes with freedom. All right. So very important to understand the power of responsibility. And finally, it's the constructive attitude. Friends, we all know, we have probably heard it, that it is not your aptitude, but the attitude that will decide your altitude. Right. So we have these 4 values: give without expectation, relationship building, responsibility, and a constructive attitude. And finally, we have the code of ethics, okay, which is going to guide our conduct. Okay, I will be truthful and fair to the ORA-BN members. I will maintain integrity, confidentiality, and professionalism in building goodwill and lasting relationships. This will help create an environment where everyone will benefit. Friends, this is the foundation on which ORA-BN is going to be built, and we solicit your support and your cooperation and your involvement in this. Thank you very much, friends. I now call upon Chandramouli to please continue.
What you see on stage right now is the core committee, which has tirelessly worked over the past almost 2 months to make the Aura Business Network a real factor, and we are able to launch this today thanks to everybody who is here on stage.
And the main drivers are these 2 people. Yeah, and they deserve a big clap.
Kailash bhai also.
Yes, Kailash bhai. Thank you.
Phase of today's event is going to be the felicitations, and for that I would like to hand over to Rahul to come on stage, please.
Namaste and a very good evening to everyone present here. I've been assigned to thank you, Chandramouli Bhai, for this. I'd like to take it forward from here. I'd like to have a raise of hands of students who have passed over the last 5 years. Can I have a raise of hands, please? The youngest ones who've cleared? Great. On the back side, can we give a big round of applause to them? I think it's important that they get involved in our activities, the work that has been done by the ORA, and it's important that their contribution also is recognized. Taking it forward from here, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give, is a famous quote by Winston Churchill. I'd like to introduce some great exemplary work that has made a significant impact on society. The work is a testament to the dedication, creativity, and innovation of its creators. It has not only improved the lives of many individuals, but also transformed communities and inspired positive change. This work stands out as a shining example of what can be achieved when passion and purpose aligns. May I now call Mr. Kiran Patel and also Mr. Jayendra Singhji of Lathi to come on stage to facilitate and do the honors. In recognition of outstanding achievements, this plaque is proudly presented to Mr. Kiran Patel. In honor of your extraordinary dedication and leadership in the field of education, where you have pioneered an educational system that not only adapts but innovates to stay a step ahead for the fast evolving world today. Your commitment to nurturing excellence is exemplified through the annual Garba event, a unique and transformative learning opportunity that inspires students to pursue perfection. Your empathy and generosity in providing free education to the children of support staff exemplifies your compassionate spirit and sets a remarkable precedent for inclusivity. We acknowledge your contribution during the COVID pandemic and your commitment to make a difference. With gratitude and admiration, the old RkCian Association, 8th October 2023, the Willingdon Club, Mumbai. Citation of M.K. Ranjit C. Jhala has already been handed over to him, but nonetheless would like to read out for the benefit of all of us. In recognition of outstanding achievements, this plaque is proudly presented to Dr. M.K. Ranjit C. Jhala for the legacy and of conservation that you have built through unwavering commitment to protection and improvement of the environment and wildlife. As the primary architect of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, your leadership and dedication were instrumental in the success of Project Tiger, one of the world's most exemplary wildlife conservation initiative. Your contribution have not only safeguarded the majestic tiger species, but have significantly enhanced the biodiversity and ecological balance of our nation. The Old RkCian Association is honored to recognize your exceptional achievements, which serve as an inspiration to all and a source of immense pride for RkCians globally. 8th October 2023 at the Willingdon Club, Mumbai, the Old RkCian Association. Before we, can we have some slideshow, because I think he's shared a bite. Can we do the needful, please?
By this very great honor bestowed upon me by the four students and my colleagues in the Ayaazkhan College, and it is a very humbling occasion for me. I would like to place on the board the few facts about as it was the boss of this movie. And my grandfather, my father and my elder brother won the English speaking prize. The English speaking prize, which I also won. So it was something which egged me on. The other aspect is that I went to school at the most formative age of my life, boarding school. And as they say, the lifelong friends are made at school. In college we make friends. After that, in service, there are just acquaintances, and that's true. The friends that I made in RkCian college are forever. And the interesting and the best part of it is you can start off by saying, and when you left off last, and you may not have seen that person for years, and you were still followed by his nickname, and with a tukar, who came from, which you can't do to the other. And I am very grateful to the RkC for giving me that. And for the kind of teaching or the kind of tradition that I learned there. I came from a family which is very interested in hunting. That will be the order of the day. And as I said, those days, tigers were meant to be shot and partridges were meant to be. That is the kind of background I all right for around at that time. But then I came in contact with Winterfly, Winterfly, with whom I had the privilege of going and doing the first All India Come to the Line in 1950 with my father in Camp Martinji, another old boy of the school. And and I stayed with Mr. Winterfly before leaving the college and the first year of my journey to college. And from him I learned that without conservation you cannot even have hunting. Therefore, it is essential to be a conservationist to be a hunter. But hunting soon left. I have picked up a life for over 50 years. But the conservation interest and commitment love. Then it would ask me for the rest of my life. And that began with the RkCian College. There was a wonderful collection of butterflies. It's the first book, first book ever written on the butterflies in India by Mr. Winterfly. So and then there were others, like Mr. Rogerson, and my mentor and senior students who were with me, I owe them deepest gratitude that I can never repay. And thank you once again for this very, very generous award, which I shall cherish for the rest of my life. Thank you so much.
That was a brief video of Dr. M.K. Ranjit Ji Jala and his thoughts after achieving the recognition that was given to him. May I now call Mr. Asif Kaludi and also Mrs. Manali Wadhwana to come on the stage to felicitate and do the honors, please. Before we do that, I'd like to read the citation that would be handed over. For the extraordinary endeavor of unwavering dedication to humanity, this plaque is proudly presented to Mr. Asif Kaludi. For swift and selfless actions in evacuating road accident victims and those in distress. For your generosity in donating tents for the Turkey earthquake, offering a beacon of hope in their darkest hours. For your altruism in distributing essential supplies to the needy during the global COVID pandemic. for your compassion during the devastating Chennai floods, braving adverse conditions to deliver sustenance to the affected, for your inspiring adventurous spirit that led you to scale multiple Himalayan peaks as high as 21,000 feet and setting an example of human resilience. Your actions reflect the very essence of true RkCian: integrity, empathy, and a purpose and pursuit of excellence. These exemplify the enduring difference one individual can make in the world. The Old RkCians Association, 8th October 2023, the old at the Willingdon Club, Mumbai. Let's give a big round of applause, friends.
Good evening to all my RkC family. I learnt or I was taught to be good, but I was not good at academics. Thus I had to prove, and my actual backbone or the teachings of Miss Cooper was the success to today what I am. I remember the mistakes I make. Again, she used to tell me that passion and devotion and acceptance is more important, not just education. Just keep giving your best to the society, you will achieve your goals. And thus, from those days, I have taken up my tasks very seriously, sincerely, and I have started achieving. And today also, I would hope to achieve more with her blessings and cooperation of Aura team too. I thank Aura as honoring me this. It's a pride. And my better half and my mother also played a role to make me success. Today also my wife Shagufta does cooperate and stand by, thus I can succeed and achieve. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts onto it, and I'm sure it's going to inspire many people to do great work. I'll also like to request Kiran, sir, if he has something to share. Sorry, missed out on that. Sorry, would you like to share your thoughts? Super. All right, so just to give some information about the ORA recognition that we've given, we've shared it on the WhatsApp groups, just prior to the event. We told all our RkCian friends to give or, suggest names, those who've done some exemplary work that has been done over the years, so that we can recognize, such a great event that is today. So, and I'm sure this is also going to be inspiring people to do some great work. So in the near future, whenever these kind of, suggestions or inputs has been asked to, please give your name so that, more people come forward and those who really have done really great work are recognized here. And this work has, so whatever names had been come, have been shortlisted and were selected by the ORA committee. With this, I'd like to end here. We'd like to request Yogesh by Wadhwana to come on the stage, please, and take it forward from here. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. I am very humbled at your presence today. We never expected such a large gathering, but nevertheless, we have a huge gathering. So I won't take more than 2 minutes. Firstly, I want to talk about what ORA is planning to do in the future. As you all would know, we have had quite an eventful last year, and going forward, we expect to move on our launch today of the ORA Business Network, which will benefit our community tremendously, as Kailash and Chandramole mentioned. And soon we will have merchandise on our website orarajkot.com, which is something which most RkCians want to see and want to buy. So having these two projects on hand, we will also have a calendar of activities which we plan to hold throughout the year, which also will be circulated, and I hope more of us can participate on those activities. We are trying to make it a very participative and institutionalized ORA so that going forward this moves even to greater heights. Having said that, I would like to thank many of us RkCians who have made this evening possible. Firstly, I would like to thank Mr. Ayazkhan for being here and giving Aura the opportunity to launch his book. And he's come here with a large contingent of his family, which we are so happy to host today. Mr. Ayazkhan, thank you so much. Having said that, I think we should, I've already mentioned to you about the Aura Business Network. A lot of people took great interest in trying to make it happen. We have seen all of them come up on stage and do the honors of launching the Aura Business Network. Besides that, the people who are responsible for this evening's function, I'd like to mention their names. One is Chandramole Pandey, or Pandya, Kiran Patel, Kuldeep Bayes, Ajay Mandalia. I would suggest if they can come up on stage so that people can acknowledge them, you know. These are all who are responsible for making it happen. Even Amit Shukla. Amit is not with us today because his mother has taken ill, so she's in hospital, so he couldn't make it. We have Darshak Thakkar, who is also our treasurer, who has come all the way from Rajkot and has been very instrumental in all our finances, you know. And we have so what I would like to mention here is that in addition to the great service they have done, we have had a very generous contribution from several RkCians. Most of them don't want to be named, so I will thank them as well, and we are going to reach out to them personally and thank them as well. Having said that, I hope we have the same attendance going forward for several other programs which we hope to have soon. I would recommend and request everybody who is here that they should apply for their ORA membership card if they haven't done it. This is very essential because most of our future programs are going to be based on your ORA number which you get with your card. It's a digital card, you just apply, it takes you just 2 minutes to apply and it will come to you digitally on your email. This is very essential. And this evening we have designed a memento which each one of you will take back home along with Mr. Ayazkhan's book. So I would please request all of you, after you finish your dinner, before you leave, please go to the desk on my left there and pick them up. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you for coming this evening. And good day, sir.